This is Dr. Sweet, Episode 3. Don't be an emotional decision maker.
Have you ever made a decision and then a day or a couple of weeks later ask yourself, what was I thinking? Well, maybe you weren't thinking at all. Maybe your emotions were thinking for you. You see, emotions are very powerful forces. They can motivate us to do amazing things if we feel excited and happy, or they can help us not get into danger if we feel anxious. But I'll tell you what, they can certainly cloud our decision making, be they positive or negative. For example, you ever wonder why in a casino the noises are so loud and the lights are so bright and the colors are so psychedelic? There's a reason for that. The casino wants you excited because when we're excited, we don't calculate the risks as much and we make rash or impulsive or very quick decisions. So that's the danger of excitement. When you're feeling really excited, that is not the time to make a decision. The same is true if you're feeling anxious about anything in your life. If something in your life is causing you to feel anxious, it doesn't matter what it is. Something that has nothing to do with the sport you're playing or your main job. The minute you start feeling anxious about something and that anxiety is more than a day or two, it can seep into any decision you want to make. What the research shows is that people who are anxious tend to be super cautious and they end up not making the best decision because they actually undershoot what they should be doing and ultimately are too conservative and end up making a decision that doesn't help them. The same is true for sadness. People who are sad or down or depressed, they tend not to make decisions that are the highest good for themselves. They tend to underestimate themselves, underestimate the situation that's in front of them, and they lowball themselves. So it's really important before you make any decision that you ask yourself, what emotion am I feeling? Because there is a consequence for each emotion that you feel. Remember that emotions can cloud judgment. Emotions can make us overshoot something or undershoot something. Emotions can also lead us to negative consequences if we're not thinking things through. Here's 7 quick steps that you can take if you're facing an emotional decision. Stop and pause. That's step 1. Step 2, breathe. Just breathe. Take a deep breath. Take a few deep breaths and recenter yourself. Step 3, ask yourself, what am I feeling? What is this emotion? What's going on here? And center yourself. And then step 4, ask yourself, what is the bigger goal that I want to accomplish? What is the biggest goal here that's best for me? And then step 5, weigh the consequences. If I do A, this will happen. If I do B, this will happen. And figure out what the consequences are for that decision. And then step 6, having considered the consequences, having taken a deep breath, you're centering yourself, you've identified what emotion you're feeling, you can take action. You can make your decision or make your choice, feeling more balanced. And then step 7, before you make your choice or as you're making it, review your choice and double check to make sure that it's okay. You can always correct it. If you would take these simple steps, especially making sure you pause and you breathe and you center yourself, and especially that you ask yourself, what am I feeling? What is the decision here? And how is my emotion going to affect this decision? You will be way ahead of the game in decision making and you will be able to make an awesome decision. And the last thing I'll tell you before we stop is that you ought to give some serious thought to writing down what you're going to do. The minute you have to write it down, you have slowed yourself down and you'll be able to rationally review what the decision is. This is Dr. Sweet, and I am hoping that this has been helpful to you as you think through making a decision with balanced emotions as opposed to allowing your emotions to run the show.
This is Dr. Sweet. Thank you for listening to Decision Making Part 3. Be sure to check out our previous episodes. Episode 1, the 10 questions you should ask before making any decision. And Episode 2, don't take the elevator. Don't rush. Use the 7 steps of ethical decision making. Until next time, thank you.